What you need to know about egg candling. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Whether at your local green market, corner grocery store, or neighborhood restaurant, you're supporting your community when you buy local.
Food grown right here by Florida farmers doesn't need to be shipped as far.
That saves fuel and cuts emissions.
Buying local is more than just supporting area businesses and growers.
It's buying fresh, wholesome, and delicious food for your family.
Products you trust from people you trust.
Fresh from Florida.
Good for the environment.
Good for the economy.
Good for you.
The 5th Annual Georgia Citrus Association Conference takes place on February 28th in Tifton. Hosted by the Georgia Citrus Association, the conference is the perfect place for growers to get the latest on crop insurance, food safety, regenerative farming, organic growing, nutrition, winter protection, and new citrus varieties. The Georgia Citrus Association is growing, and now is the time to become involved. Tickets are $50 if you pre-register and $60 at the door. Limited vendor space and sponsorships are available. Visit georgiacitrusassociation.org to register today.
Egg candling is a method of shining light inside an egg that enables you to see what's going on. You can do this at various points in the egg's development, all the way up until right before hatching. Candling helps you see if there's a problem you need to address during incubation. It also helps you determine the hatchability of shipped hatching eggs. Originally done with a candle, egg candling is now done with a small, powerful flashlight that shines up through the shell of the egg. You can either use a small, basic flashlight or an inexpensive, high-end machine to do your candling. It's important that you do not candle every day so as to not disturb growth and development. Also, avoid using eggs that are dirty or soiled in any way. Never leave eggs outside the incubator for more than half an hour. And, when candling, mark the eggs using a regular pencil so you know which ones you have candled. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have near record-breaking high temperatures today with sunny to partly cloudy skies and a high of 82 to 85. Then partly cloudy and mild tonight with a shower in places late and a low of 63 to 66. Look for a brief shower or two tomorrow morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy Saturday, high 65 to 74. Then clouds followed by sunshine on Sunday, high on Sunday 71 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Woodruff.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. Hey, I got an idea, Susan. How about you apply for city manager?
Shut up.
I think you'd do a great job.
Shut up.
What? You could be a great city manager.
I would be a great city manager.
I think you would be. I think you should apply.
Shut up.
We'll get Kent Gwynn behind it. Mike Balkin will be behind it. We'll be in good shape. You know what it's time for? It is time now for... Here it comes. Wait for it. Why does this computer... Why are my computers trying to hurt me today?
It's Dumb Crook News, everybody.
Thank you.
Dumb Crook News. You know what the music sounds. Apparently we're being snappy towards each other.
We're not being snappy.
We're being snappy. There's a dumb crook here.
Well, yeah, I was a dumb crook. I certainly was. I'll be the first to tell you that. Hey, by the way, all the Dumb Crook news today. Well, let's take a phone call real quick, and then we'll go to Dumb Crook news. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks. Hello. And they're off. There you go. So Dumb Crook news. All the Dumb Crook news today comes from two places. the great state of Texas and the great state of Florida. It only comes from two places today because they both had a bunch of dummies. Let's start with Arlington, Texas. That's the home of Jerry World. It's where the Dallas Cowboys are based out of. An intoxicated man and woman accidentally called the police on themselves. Police they responded to the man and woman when they pressed their SOS OnStar button in their car. The police showed up to make sure everything was all right. It was a welfare check. Andrew Johnson and Sarah Harrison at the welfare check ended up in jail. Not just because of intoxication. When the police got there, they found probable cause to search the vehicle because there was a syringe on the console that was in plain view of the cops. After searching the vehicle, they found a significant amount, when I say significant, 116 grams of heroin, 37 grams of cocaine, and 116 ecstasy pills in the console.
Wow.
Sarah, though, she had an answer. Sarah goes, those are not our drugs. Cop goes, do you know how many times I hear those are not our drugs? Sarah goes, this is a rental vehicle. We don't know how those got in there. And it was a rental car they were in. Cops didn't believe, though, that Hertz just had drugs in the rental car. By the way, a rental car that they were on day 17 of having.
Well, that's a little suspicious.
Day 17 in a rental car. You hadn't found that much drugs yet in the console? By the way, a console that had both their checkbooks, a wallet of theirs, and a hospital, an urgent care hospital visit.
Now, here's the question. Now, was the wallet and checkbooks on top of or underneath the alleged?
Story doesn't say, but that's a very good point. Because if it's underneath, it's definitely there.
Definitely theirs. It was on top. You know, maybe they didn't see it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they just chucked it in there.
Just chucked it in there. They were arrested for trafficking of various illicit drugs. It's not ours. It's a rental car.
It's a rental car. You know what? Good for them for trying. Good for them.
This story out of Dallas, right next to Arlington. An armed carjacking in South Oak Cliff turned up bad for the alleged thieves. Police say both men, they tried to rob the car. They approached the driver of the Ford Mustang GT along the 6,000 block of Hidden Trail. They demanded the car. A fight broke out. The owner of the vehicle ended up grazed in the leg by a bullet that was shot by one of the would-be carjackers. Police said the suspects tried to speed off in the car but couldn't get the car going because they didn't know how to get it out of gear because it was a stick shift and neither one of them could drive a stick shift. The suspects ran off on foot. They were later apprehended, but they were thwarted in stealing the GT because neither one of them knew how to drive a stick shift. Okay, here's the thing.
That's hilarious. Can you drive a stick shift?
I learned to drive in a Chevrolet C10 pickup with a 3-speed on the column. I learned to drive a 3 on the tree. If you can drive a 3 on the tree, you can drive anything.
You know what? This comes from a man who told me he could make fried chicken.
I can make fried chicken. I just don't like it.
Well, you tried to make fried chicken for me once.
Did I try to make? I don't remember trying to make fried chicken.
Yeah, it was just, it wasn't. It was just okay. It was just okay.
But I can drive a stick shift. I used to drive a Nissan 240 SX that was a stick shift, sport coupe that was a stick shift. I drove a 1986 Ford F-250 stick shift in the floor. I drove a Ford F-150 that was a stick shift in the floor. I drove a Nova 72 Nova Super Sport that was a stick shift. I can drive a stick shift.
Did you drive overseas?
I have driven overseas when I was in Scotland. Yes, I drove overseas. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different weird thing, driving over there. But
that's the real when you drive overseas.
But the stick shift is By the way, hey dummies in Dallas, the diagram on how to drive it is right there on the knob of the stick shift. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
Yeah, but if they don't know what the clutch is, if they don't know about the clutch.
You can grind it out enough to get it in gear. You get enough high RPMs going up, you can jam it in a second. Dumb crook. And then finally, Chastity Hobson. First off, anybody named Chastity, I got a problem with. Okay. Chastity Hobson. She responded to a Facebook post. She had outstanding warrants. So what the cops did is they put this Facebook post out and hoped that they would get idiots or people with outstanding warrants to show up. They got an idiot with an outstanding warrant to show up. Her name was Chastity Hobson. The Grand Shoals Police Department in Texas issued a very special warning on its Facebook page that declared, if you have recently purchased meth or heroin in Central Texas, please take it to the local police or sheriff's department so it can be screened with special device. Do not use it until it's been properly checked for possible Ebola contamination.
Ebola. There you go.
The message, of course, was a ruse. Regardless, concerned citizen Chastity Hobson did her duty by bringing her sample of her heroin to be examined. She was promptly arrested for bringing drugs to the police station, held on a $5,000 bond, and then they realized she had 2 aggravated battery warrants out for beating up her sister and her sister's husband.
Ebola.
Oh no, her heroin was found to be safe from Ebola.
Well, that's good.
I mean, and I just how do you not know that's a fake post? How do you know? Because you're an idiot who brings your heroin to the police station to make sure you're not going to die of Ebola. But now she's facing, with her drug charges plus the 2 aggravated battery, 1 with a weapon, she's now facing 20 years in the Texas state penal system. And she was caught, not through great detective work, she was caught because she showed up and said, can you check my heroin for Ebola? Dumb crooks. Job security.
Job security.
So all that happened in Texas. Great state of Texas. We'll be back after this time out with Dumb Crook news from right here in the state of Florida. And by the way, every one of these are in and around Marion County. We'll do that next on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit 2meninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
The Appleton Museum of Art presents a musical performance by the world-famous Maharaja Flamenco Trio on Saturday, February 5th at 7 p.m. Presenting a sound that blends the flavors of Spain, Africa, the Caribbean, and more, the trio will play 2 sets, including music from their new album. Tickets are $25. More information and tickets available at appletonmuseum.org.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. Save the Manatee Club has helped to protect imperiled manatees and their aquatic habitat for decades, but there's still more work to be done. Threats from cold weather, red tides, pollution, and boat collisions continue to take their toll on the manatee. So let's work together to safeguard the manatees and the places they call home. Be the friend they need. Visit SaveTheManatee.org. Thank you.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson CPA Firm is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson CPA Firm, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson CPA Firm, there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
Welcome to Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you and yours a year ahead full of faith, family, and friends. It's no secret that we have and will face some challenges this year. Now more than ever, we need to reach out to make our workplace a caring community. Wishing you peace, hope, and a brighter new year. Powell Gene, Gene @yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. It is now time for the Florida version of...
For your hearing pleasure, Dumb Crook News.
That's right, it's time for the Florida version of Dumb Crook News. Marion County Sheriff's Office made an arrest in a armed robbery and shots fired. Deputies responded to the Eureka West boat ramp. That's on Northwest 152nd Place after a man later identified as Brian Scott Taylor reported he'd been robbed and shot at. According to reports, during the investigation, deputies were told that Taylor had met up with Thomas Thorne at the local boat ramp to buy some marijuana. According to reports, Taylor followed Tommy and watched him get into the passenger side of a car. He told deputies that Tommy then pointed a gun at him and fired a shot. Deputies reported that Taylor was also able to identify the driver of the vehicle. Deputies made contact with the driver. The driver told the deputy Taylor and Tommy had met for a drug deal. The driver stated the two had an altercation. He denied that there had been any money snatched or a gun fired. Tommy told investigators that him and Taylor met up, but said Taylor's version of the story was not exactly what happened. According to the affidavit, Tommy sold Taylor narcotics, or what was supposed to be narcotics, in exchange for $15. But then according to Taylor, he snatched $125 from him, took a shot at him, threw him out of the car. For Taylor's part in this, he didn't get what he was expecting either. Tommy had actually sold him a $15 amount of rocks. Both Taylor and Thomas had previous convictions for drug use.
Well, shocker.
Okay, first off, if you don't know you're being sold rocks, you get what you get. Okay? And if you're so dumb that you're buying a bag full of rocks for $15, when they took the $125 from you, you were going to waste it and spend it on something stupid anyway. So the only problem here is the shot was fired. I mean, one idiot was losing his money to another idiot. I see no problem here. Hey, I need some marijuana. Oh, it weighs a whole lot. This feels like it's dense. It's because it's rocks, moron. I mean,
what he must have said was a lot of seed in there.
A lot of seeds. Ocala, Florida. Tow truck driver was assaulted with a vehicle as he attempted to remove the car from Spring Manor Apartments. The driver for Dave's Towing responded to Spring Manor in reference to a vehicle that had an expired license plate. Spring Manor Apartment Management said it's against policy for any vehicle with an expired license plate to be parked in the complex. So shortly after he arrived, Spring Manor security had to call the Ocala Police Department. Upon arriving, Jared King met with the tow truck driver. He stated he began to hook the vehicle up. Several people approached him. He said he allowed the individuals to retrieve items from the car while he's placing the two hooks under the vehicle. According to reports, he began to tighten up the cable, pulled the car onto the bed of the truck. Somebody removed one of the hooks. He had then crawled under the vehicle in an attempt to replace the hooks. And that's when Amber Morgan started the car and tried to drive off the tow truck onto him. Luckily, the hooks didn't allow the car off the tow truck. And Amber was arrested for stealing her own car because it was in possession of the tow truck at the time, plus aggravated battery with a car and attempted murder because she tried to run the tow truck driver over. I'm just going to get my stuff out of the car. First off, shame on you, Mr. Linderman, the tow truck driver. Once you got it hooked up, can I get back? No, you can. It'll be at the tow yard. You can come get the tow yard, retrieve any items you want to retrieve from the tow yard. No, you can't go in the vehicle. You know why? Because when she got in the vehicle, she tried to drive the damn thing off the tow truck.
Well, he was trying to be nice.
He almost died trying to be nice.
Well, he won't do that again.
But why did she think it was going to come unhooked just because she cranked it up?
I don't know.
Only in Ocala. Well, probably not. You know, I just don't understand what she was thinking there. Can I please get my stuff out of the car? Sure, I'll let you get your stuff. That's a nice gesture by the tow truck driver. He understood, look, this apartment complex has got a terrible policy. Because just think about it. If your birthday is July 31st or July 30th, it's August 1st or 2nd. That's an expired tag. So that apartment complex, by their policy, could tow your car. And I understand why they do it. That apartment complex, because of the drugs that are in there and the shootings that have happened there and all, they don't want people just having cars that aren't licensed and everything sitting there that people just hang out in. I understand how that happens. I was in the business for a while, as they say. So I know some of the street level dealers sit in cars that they don't drive or anything in apartment complexes, and that's where they conduct their business at. I understand why the policy's there. But this tow truck driver's trying to do the right thing. Sure, go ahead and get your stuff out. His payment is she gets in, cranks the damn car up, and tries to drive off the tow truck. First off, if you tried hard enough, you'd rip off whatever was on the car and just damage the car. Have you ever had that? Have you ever seen or had the experience of somebody or somebody you know or anything getting a car repossessed? I watched one night a very good friend of mine, Steve.
Oh, Steve.
This was 1987 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Watched a very good friend of mine, Steve's girlfriend at the time, Bobby, come out because her Pontiac Grand Am was being repossessed. And she's screaming at the tow truck driver and saying words to him. She hadn't made a payment on this car in 4 months. And she's mad. They're there repossessing it. And she was, how do I say this without being, she was an adult entertainer. She was not a Broadway dancer, but she was called a dancer. Okay?
Yes.
Stripper. Okay, we'll just go ahead and say what it is. Yeah. She was a pole aficionado in dancing. I worked at the club she worked at, so did Steve. He was a DJ. I was the security guy.
Mm-hmm.
I watched her make $2,600 in a weekend. But she wouldn't pay the Grand Am payment, which was like $195. And then got mad that it was being repossessed. How the hell you get mad when you ain't made a payment in 4 months and your car's getting repossessed? But you watch some of these shows, repossession shows on A&E and everything. People get mad. Man, you ain't made a car payment. You ain't made a payment on that tractor you're using. And the airplane one was great. The guy got the airplane, hadn't made a payment on his private jet in 14 months, and was shocked they were there to repossess it. Man, talk about dumb crooks. But this girl at this apartment complex, she wasn't having it. It was her car. It didn't matter if the tag was dead or not.
Clink, clink.
Yeah. She's now in jail. Dumb crook. That brings a close to another riveting edition of...
For your hearing pleasure, Dumb Crook News.
Yeah. All in Texas and Florida this week. Dumb Crook News. Coming up next, Kevin Stone is here as we get you set up for the Super Bowl, the Bengals and the Rams. We'll talk to him next. So what's the line with Kevin Stone at this brief timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Hey, thanks to all my listeners that have listened all week. Thanks for Susan to come in here today and help me out as I was having a meltdown and my computer losing things and all. So thanks for being here.
I love you.
Uh-huh. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Bye. Love you too. Kevin Stone next.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
In a show of unity, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin have met in Beijing as Moscow's deteriorating relationship with the West has pushed the countries to a more robust relationship, including